Deshaun Watson, the Clemson quarterback, nearly signed with Urban Meyer and Ohio State 3 years ago. Here's Watson on his recruiting decision.
I mean, he was close. He was my favorite coach growing up, especially when he was at Florida. I was a huge Gator fan, and it was one of the reasons because of him and Tim Tebow. Those two guys I kind of looked up to growing up. And, as a ninth grader, especially when I went to visit, that's where I wanted to go. I was telling myself I'm going to be a Gator, but, all that stuff went on, and then he, had to leave and then end up at Ohio State. So, I became a Buckeye fan a little bit, but Clemson had got me first, and I just fell in love with this place.
I think that just goes to show you how much weight that head coaches can have, because he was talking about he liked Urban Meyer when he was at Florida. Then, of course, Urban Meyer went to Ohio State, and he was willing almost, to go where Urban was. But, of course, I'm sure Swinney was like, hey, we need you here, Deshaun. But that's a little interesting, peek behind the curtain, so to speak, about what almost was for Watson.
Yeah, and I mean, if I'm a Clemson fan, I'm thinking, man, thank gosh that Urban, had a little hiatus and put some emphasis on his health before coming back, and then going to Ohio State. That really probably landed Deshaun Watson in Clemson's lap, and they were the benefactors because of it. But you're absolutely right. It is pretty fascinating to hear. I mean, these kids grow up, they are drawn to certain programs because of players they like, and more than that, because of coaches. Because in their mind, they say, that's a coach I want to play for. And even if that particular player I like in ninth grade is going to be long gone by the time I get to my college career, that coach is probably going to be there. Maybe not. And in this case, as so often is the case, that coaching carousel spins very rapidly and sends a coach from one school where you think, oh, that would be a nice fit for me, to a whole nother school where you have to rethink it. And by then, a different coach tempts you with the prospects of playing for their university. In this case, Dabo tempting Deshaun Watson with the glories of playing and leading Clemson to prominence yet again, and that's exactly what he's done.
Yeah, the decision by Watson worked out well. I think he made a pretty good decision.
Especially if they could put an exclamation point on it here, and he can go off into the NFL as a collegiate champion. It would certainly put the cherry on top, but it's been a great decision. I'm sure he has no regrets about how it all turned out.
We shall see if Watson can finish the job at Clemson. It all gets started in that college football playoff semifinal.